Did you figure it out? Who is this dancing lady? That's right, it's Miss Minion's mom! Good morning, 109 Minions. As always, I am so happy you are here. Let's get started learning. Today we're going to do roar. Ready? Good morning, good morning. Hear us all roaring. Good morning, Alexia, Annis, Anderson, Anthony, Aria, Aubriana, Braden, Draven, Ed, Markey, Emily, Sophia, Sebastian, Natalie, Mariana, Manuel, Kimberly, Kennedy, Cassandra, Junalise, Jaden, Isabel, and Valentina. And ready, let's roar. 1, 2, 3, roar! We can do a little roar too. Roar! And let's go ahead and do our share. Our share today will be that I ordered stuff to make homemade bread from one of my favorite restaurants. And so this weekend I'm going to be making my own bread. And let's do our poem. Today we're going to do make a pancake. Ready? Say it with me. Make a pancake. Make a pancake. Pat, pat, pat. Do not make it fat, fat, fat. You must make it flat, flat, flat. Make a pancake just like that. And there's lots of really good words for stretching out here, for listening to the sounds and blending. Listen, let's do this one. P-at, p-at, p-at. What's the word? Pat. Let's do this one. At, at, at. What's the word? Fat. Let's try this one. At, at. What's the word? Flat. Awesome. A lot of times when you see short words or even long ones, you can listen to the sounds, blend them together, and see, can you hear the word? Does that sound like a word that would make sense? Let's go ahead and do our message. Today is Thursday, April 30th, 2020. Dear Room 109 Minions, hello. I am so happy you are here. What subtraction story can we tell for this picture? Look at this picture. What subtraction story could we tell? Go ahead, tell a story out loud. Yeah, there's lots of stories we could tell. These could be cookies, these could be bouncy balls, these could be frisbees, these could be toys. How about I say Miss Minion had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frisbees in all. Then she lost 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. How many frisbees does she have left? You can say Miss Minion has. Yeah, Miss Minion has 5 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Love Miss Minion. Let's do our sight words. What word is this? That's right, that. T-H-A-T spells that. What word is this? Sad. S-A-I-D spells said. Then. T-H-E-N spells then. Yep, that one's went. W-E-N-T spells went, went, went. Yep, that's R. A-R-E spells R-R-R. And my. M-Y spells my. Pause now to practice sight words. Pausa ahora para practicar tus palabras de visual. Practice your sight words by playing Follow the Path or Memory with a friend or family member. Practique sus palabras de vista jugando siguiendo el camino, Follow the Path, o la memoria, Memory, con un amigo o familiar. Wow, I just heard from the mayor that there are superheroes all over East Boston. And not even like just one. 22 superheroes. Who are they, you ask? Well, they're the super readers. Super reader, does whatever a reader does. Reads a word any size. Reads the word before your eyes. Look out! Here comes a super reader. That's you. And today's super readers, we're going to learn, you guessed it, another super reading power. Are you ready? This one is called reread power. Let's look at it. This says we have reread power. And you all know that sometimes when you're reading, you get stuck. You have to solve for words. You have to use your powers. You have to dig deep, look at the picture, stretch out words, and do a lot of brain work to figure out what the words say. Reread power means that after you figure it out, you go back to the beginning of the sentence and you read it again. The first time you go through and you're really trying to figure out the tricky words. Then, once you got them, you have to go back and read it with pizzazz. Read it to read, not just to solve. Let me show you what I mean. I'll put this on our chart. Today, I'm going to read the book Picnic. Let me show you how I use my reread power. Mouse finds cookies. Mouse finds apples. Mouse finds bread. Mouse finds, oh no, CH. When those are together, those make the chair sound. I have my first letter power. Oh, let me use my picture power. Cheese. Mouse finds cheese. Do you notice how once I figured out the word, I didn't just keep going. I went back to the beginning of the sentence and read the whole thing again. This way I remember what the words say and I understand it. When you're focusing on figuring out the words, you're not really listening to the story. So you have to go back. Let me show you one more time. Mouse finds Hear me stretching out the word. Hear me using my letter knowledge. Strawberries. Should I just keep going? No, silly Miss Minion. You gotta go back and use your reread power. Let me go back. Mouse finds strawberries. See how the second time I read that, I really sounded like a reader? Today and every day, I want you to use your reread power. When you have to stop and think about a word, use your powers and grow your brain. Amazing! That means it's a good book for you and a good book for learning. But that also means you have to use your reread power. You have to figure out the tricky words, and then once you get them, go back to the beginning of the sentence and read the whole sentence again with that pointer power. Do you think you can do that today, super readers? I knew you could. Have fun reading and don't forget to use your powers. Before you go, let's go over them one more time. We are super readers. We have pointer power. We have sight word power. We have first letter power. We have picture power. We have reread power. Happy reading, super readers! Pause now to do your reading homework. Pausa ahora para hacer tu tarea de lectura. Read your books. Practice using your reread power. Remember, after you use your powers to solve a tricky word, you have to go back to the beginning of the sentence and reread the whole sentence with pizzazz. And do a guided reading video, either new or one you've done before. Make sure you follow along with your paper copy of the book. Lee tus libros. Practica usando tu poder reread, releer. Recuerde, después de usar sus poderes para resolver una palabra difícil, debe volver al comienzo de la oración y releer toda la oración con pizzazz. Y haga un video de lectura guiada, ya sea nuevo o uno que haya hecho antes. Asegúrese de seguir junto con su copia en papel del libro. Today we're going to start a brand new writing unit. We're going to learn how to write opinion writing. Can you say opinion? Let's say that 3 times. Opinion, opinion, opinion. And opinion writing is when you share what you think. Maybe you try and convince someone to do something. Or, as we'll learn today, we can use opinion writing to make the world a better place. Now, I see problems all over the world. Lots of things that I wish that I could fix. The good thing is I can use persuasive. Can you say persuasive? Persuasive opinion writing. That's when I try and get someone to do something. To make the world better. We don't just have to wish problems away. We can write them away. We don't just write stories. I mean, we do write stories. And we don't just write nonfiction books, although we do write nonfiction books. We also can write to change the world. I added a new kind of writing to our chart. This chart says types of writing. We already know we can do narrative writing, where we tell a story about our life. We can do nonfiction teaching, where we teach about a topic like tacos. Or we can do persuasive writing. Let's say that 3 times. Persuasive, persuasive, persuasive. And this is when we try and tell other people to do something. When we think about a problem and write to try to make the world better. Okay, the first thing we need to do is think, where is there a problem in the world? First, we got to think of a problem. Then, we got to think of a way to solve it. And then, we write to try and make things better. I made us this chart. It says, writers write to make the world better. And it has 3 steps. Say, step 1. Step 1 is see a problem. There's problems all over. We'll talk about that soon. Step 2 is think. Yeah, think about how we could solve that problem. Or who could solve that problem. And then step 3 is write. We can write about the problem and try and get it to be fixed. Writers can change the world with their writing. All right, so first I need to think about a problem in the world. What problems do I see? How could the world be better? Oh, I know. Not every kid in Boston has a computer to do their online learning. Some kids don't get to see their teacher because they don't have a computer. Okay, now I need to think. How can this problem be better? The teachers can come to the house. Oh no, that doesn't work. There's only one teacher in a lot of houses. What about, I know. What if we got a computer company to give every kid a computer? This way, every kid would be able to see their teachers. Writers, did you see how first I thought about a problem? That not every kid has a computer. That's a problem. The world could be better if every kid had a computer to do learning. And then step 2, I thought about how to fix the problem. I said, well, what if a computer company like Apple or Dell said, I want to give computers to all the kids who don't have them. That would fix the problem. And then step 3, I thought about how writing could make it better. That I could write a letter or a book to send to the people at the computer company and try and convince them to give us computers. All right now, I want you to stop and think about a problem in the world. It could be a problem in the big world. It could be a problem that's at school. It could be a problem that's in your town or your neighborhood. There's lots of problems out there. Think about a problem. You can say one problem is maybe you're thinking about problems in the world, like hunger, like not every kid has enough food to eat. Or maybe you're thinking about homelessness, that not every person has a home to sleep in or a bed to sleep in where they're safe. Or maybe you're thinking about a problem at school, like sometimes people forget to put the caps on the glue sticks and they dry out and then we have to throw them away. Or maybe you're thinking about how sometimes people run in the hallways or are loud and it disturbs learning. Maybe you're thinking about how sometimes at breakfast they run out of the yummy choice and then you have to get the choice you don't want. That's a problem at school too. There's lots of problems. You could write about a big problem. You could write a little problem. Any problem you want. But think about a problem that you want to write about. Do you have a problem? If you don't have a problem, that's okay. You can think about it more tonight. Step 2 is going to be to think about how that problem could be solved. What can we do to fix it? So, for example, I said that we could have a computer company buy a lot of computers. If your problem is people not putting glue caps on the glue, you could maybe make a poster for the classroom to remind people to put the glue back on. Or maybe you could write a book to tell people how to put the glue caps on. Or if your problem is that they run out of yummy food at lunch or at breakfast, you could write a letter to Mr. Adam telling him to make more food of the yummy things that you like. Or if your problem is homelessness, that not everyone has a home to live in, maybe you could write a letter to the mayor of Boston or even the president of the United States and say, we need to build more homes for people to live in. There's lots of ways to solve the problem, but your job is to think, how could I solve the problem? And then tomorrow we will write. Here is your homework for today. Pause now to do your writing homework. Pausa ahora para hacer tu tarea de escritura. Think about a problem in the world, at school, or in your community. Then think about how the problem could be solved and who can solve it. You don't have to write anything. Just be ready with an idea for tomorrow. It might be helpful to talk about your idea with a grown-up or draw a picture of it so you remember. Piensa en un problema en el mundo, en la escuela o en tu comunidad. Luego piense en cómo se podría resolver el problema y quién puede resolverlo. No tienes que escribir nada, solo prepárate para una idea para mañana. Puede ser útil hablar sobre su idea con un adulto o hacer un dibujo para recordarla. Hey there, mathematicians. Let's keep talking about subtraction. Today we're going to think about numbers and how we can break them apart into different groups. Let's look at an example problem. This says Alex picked 7 apples. Some apples are red and some are yellow. Alex wants to put the red apples in one basket and the yellow in the other. How many red apples and how many yellow apples can there be? Use counters to show the red and yellow apples and write the numbers to tell how many of each. Let's see. Okay, I know I have 7 apples. All right, I know I have 7 apples. I'm going to use some red and yellow counters to show that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I need some yellow. 5, 6, 7. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, but Alex wants to put the red apples in one basket and the yellow apples in another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 4 red apples. We have 3 yellow apples. We have 7 apples in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is this the only way we can do it? No, there's lots of combinations that could make 7. For example, I could do 2 red apples and 5 yellow. That makes 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or I could even do 6 red apples and only 1 yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's lots of combinations that make 7. But can there be more than 7 of one color? Could I have 8 red? What do you think? Could I have more than 7 red or more than 7 yellow? Could I have 10 yellow? No, 7 is the most. If I have more than 7 in one basket, when I put them together, it won't make 7. It'll make too many. It has to equal 7. If you have some in one basket, what do you know about the ones in the other basket? You can say, I know. Yeah, I know that this number is going to help me know how many are in this basket. If it has to be 7 in all, the other basket is going to be how many more I need to make 7. If I already have 6 in this basket, I know I need 1 more to make 7. Let's think about this a different way. We're going to watch a video. Watch it with me.
What does the picture show? 7 apples. Are the apples taken apart or in one whole group?
Think about that. We have 7 apples. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are they split apart or are they in one whole group? You can say it out loud. That's right, they're all together. Now let's see what happens.
They are in one whole group. Separate means to take apart, not to put together. When you take apart a number, you separate it into parts. What has happened in the picture?
What happened? What happened in the picture? Yeah, it got separated. The apples got taken apart. How many parts are there? Yes, there are 2 parts. There are 2 groups. How many apples are in this part? That's right, there are 2. 1, 2. How many apples are in this part? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There are dotted lines around some of the apples. The group of apples has been taken apart. How many parts are there? There are 2 parts. Are there still 7 apples in all?
Are there still 7 apples in all? Yes! Even though they're separated, there's still 7 all together.
Yes, there are still 7 apples in all. What does the
They wrote our answers.
2 represent?
What does the 2 mean? You can say the 2 is for. That's right. The 2 is for these 2 apples in this group. What is the 5 for? You can say the 5 is for. Yes, the 5 is for the 5 apples in that group.
The 2 represents the group of 2 apples that are taken apart. What does the 5 represent?
We already know. It represents the 5 apples. You're ahead of the video. Are you a super mathematician? Yes, you are.
The 5 represents the group of 5 apples that are taken apart. So, 7 apples can be taken apart into 2 parts of 2 and 5. How else could you take apart the 7 apples into 2 separate groups?
Let's think about that. Is 2 and 5 the only way to make 7? No, there's lots of ways to make 7. What are some other ways? Look at these 7 apples. What are some ways we can put them into 2 separate groups? You can say, Miss Minion, you can. Yeah, maybe I could do 3 apples in this group and 4 apples in that group. 3 and 4 make 7. What if I do 1 apple in this group and 6 apples in this group? Are there still 7 in all? Yes, 1 and 6 still makes 7. There are lots of combinations to make 7. All right, now we're going to do some on our whiteboards. You need to get out your whiteboard and your whiteboard marker. All right, let's think about this problem with the strawberries. It says take apart 10. What are some ways we could take apart 10? I heard lots of responses coming through the air. Let's show you some. We could do 3 strawberries and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 and 7. Can you come up with another way on your whiteboard? You don't have to draw the strawberries, but you can if it helps you. What you do need to do is write the numbers and the word and. It's a sight word, so you should know how to spell it. What other ways can you come up with? Let me show you a few more. Pause the video if you're still working. Press play if you're ready. You could do 1 strawberry. And how many are in this group? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 and 9. What's another way that we could solve it? We could do 5 strawberries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 5 make 10. Could I do this? 3 strawberries and 3 strawberries make 10. Did I hear you say no? Yeah, no, 3 and 3 is not 10. I forgot all these strawberries over here. That's no good, Miss Minion. But I could do 3 strawberries and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That does make 10. Homework, I'm going to show you some fruits. Your job is going to be to look at the fruits and then think, how can you split those fruits into 2 groups? On your whiteboard, you should write 2 numbers and the word and. Here's an example. On this one, I drew the 10 strawberries. I didn't make them look like real strawberries. I just drew ovals. And then I wrote the numbers 3 and, you can write and, that's a sight word, 7. Is 3 and 7 the only answer? No! As we looked at, there's lots of answers. See if you can come up with more than one answer for each picture. Here is your math homework. Esta es la tarea de matemáticas. Look at the picture problems. Write the numbers for the 2 groups you see. Don't forget the word and. Challenge. Can you think of more than one way to separate the fruits into 2 groups? Parents, I do not yet expect a number sentence or equation. We will get there soon. Mira los problemas de imagen. Escribe los números de los 2 grupos que ves. No olvides la palabra and. Reto. ¿Puedes pensar en más de una forma de separar las frutas en 2 grupos? Padres, todavía no espero una ecuación o oración numérica. Llegaremos allí pronto. Try this one. Take apart 7. Your whiteboard should have 2 numbers and the word and. Don't forget to press pause while you do it. Let's do peaches. Take apart 5 peaches. Pause the video while you do this. Let's do cherries. Take apart 4 cherries. Pause the video while you do it. Now it's time for a challenge. Can you take apart these strawberries by making 2 groups that add up to 6? There's lots of different ways you can do this. Can you come up with more than one way? You might want to draw the strawberries on your whiteboard to help you. Last challenge. What about these oranges? Break them into 2 groups. How many combinations can you come up with? All right, phonics friends, today we're going to be learning another row on our special blends chart. Ready? Let's start by going over the ones we already know. BR bridge, CR crown, DR drum, say them with me, FR frog, and today we're going to learn GR grapes. Say that with me. Grapes. Grapes. Awesome. Let's go through this column. SC scarf. SK skeleton. SM smoke. SN snake. And today we're going to learn SP spoon. Say that with me. Spoon. Let's do this column. BL block, CL cloud, FL flag, GL glasses. And today we're going to do PL plug. Say that with me. Plug. Plug. Awesome. Let's do this tricky 3-letter blend category. Screw. Splash. Spring. Squirrel. And today we're going to learn STR, string. Ready? Say that with me. String. String. Awesome. And let's do our funky ones. Chair. Phone. Shovel. Thumb. And this one is whale. It's tricky because it does make the W sound, but we don't really hear that H sound in there. Whale. Say it with me. Whale. Awesome. Let's go over our new ones one more time. Grapes. Spoon. Plug. String. Whale. Awesome. Pause now to do your phonics homework. Pausa ahora para hacer tu tarea fonética. Look at these pictures and use your magnetic letters to make each of the words. Listen for the sounds in the beginning, middle, and end of the word. Focus on listening for the special blends we learned. For an extra challenge, you can write the words instead of building them with magnetic letters. Mire estas imágenes y use sus letras magnéticas para formar cada una de las palabras. Escuche los sonidos al principio, a la mitad y al final de la palabra. Concéntrese en escuchar las mezclas especiales que aprendemos. Para un despacio adicional, puedes escribir las palabras en lugar de construirlas con letras magnéticas. The words are truck, shell, grass, whip. Hint, Whip starts with that W-H, whale. Not just the W, but the W-H blend. Then plug and star. And of course, don't forget that sticker. Today is lesson 24.